Colin. Let's go to Joe Burrow and the Cincinnati, can't call them Bengals anymore because they're maybe Super Bowl bound. Joe Burrow very excited about the prospects of the new look Bengals. They've got, I think, 7 new defensive starters. People are excited. And Joe, listen to this.
Number one thing is you have to win. And, we're going to go win a lot of games this year and play great and win a Super Bowl. And, everything that comes with that comes with that. I think this is the most talented roster that we've had since I've been here.
I much prefer the where will Joe Burrow get traded to discussion, which is fun. But, he got lucky. The schedule is unbelievably easy.
Yeah. Well,
the division still has
relative to NFL schedule. It's not easy, but I think it's reasonable to say, listen, they have to go to Texas and then Pittsburgh in weeks 2, 3. Those are very losable games. And then they get the Jags.
Pittsburgh is losable?
Yes, at Pittsburgh, absolutely. They won 10 games
maybe
last
Steelers
year.
are favored by 1 or 2.
Well, I said losable.
Okay, fair.
So at Houston, at Pittsburgh, Jags, those are 3. It's not that easy.
Now do the quarterback game. Who do you got, Joe Burrow or Baker Mayfield? Burrow.
Well,
Joe Burrow or C.J. Stroud?
Quarterback winning is not a quarterback stat. Do they have the O-line? Do they have the pass rush? Last year, Joe Burrow had to win every game by track meet. Mm-hmm. And Sam Darnold was excellent, but Sam could have an off game and they could win. Sam could throw 4 picks and they're driving for a win. Like Joe Burrow, I don't think do I think the schedule middle end is favorable? Yeah, but at the end of the season, they have to face Baltimore at Indy. You look at Carolina and you say it's Carolina. Again, gave the Rams fits last year.
Carolina's interesting because their win total was 6.5, and you're like, wait, they just went to the playoffs. And, they haven't made a decision on Bryce Young long-term.
Okay, we're not talking about the Carolina Panthers. We're talking about the Cincinnati Bengals. And J. Mac is totally thrown off because Colin during the schedule reveal kept emphasizing quarterbacks and he's like, look at the quarterback. Look how many quarterbacks Dak is facing or Caleb Williams, he's the best quarterback, depending on which quarterback we were talking about at the time. And now that's why J. Mac was like, well, let's do the quarterback game. And Colin was quickly like, no, you can't just go based off of quarterback. And I was like, wait a second. What is then how are we looking at this schedule right now? So, I've been making so many Cincinnati Bengals content. I've made more Bengals content, I feel like that these last few weeks than I have since the beginning of just making videos because I'm just so hyped on the Bengals right now. And every time I see a Bengals video, I jump to make it because I want to keep talking about them because I am so convinced and so confident this Bengals team is going to be so competitive and so relevant this coming year that I'm so fired up to finally be able to see consistent high-level Joe Burrow and the Cincinnati Bengals. But before I really jump into it, Cincinnati Bengals fans, please do not forget to subscribe and watch the full-length video. When you guys do that, views go through the roof. Subscribers go through the roof. It's not about chasing views. It's not about chasing subscribers. It's about being able to create Bengals content that people genuinely want to watch and discuss. And you guys have absolutely been doing that. So, I really cannot thank you enough. But it's, just really putting me in a position so we can continue to have unbiased, grounded, genuine conversations about the Bengals and not just make-believe hype just because it's like, hey, let's just say that they're Super Bowl contenders just because that's fun to say or let's just say, oh well they're trash. I'll believe it when I see it. It doesn't have to just be extremes just for the sake of being extremes, right? Try to actually find the nuance and the conversation here. And so, yeah. I didn't even hear Joe Burrow. I'm actually thrown off now. We're going to win a Super Bowl this year. I didn't even know he said that cause I've heard the other sound bites before where he said, this is the best team that I think we've had, the most talented roster, etc. etc. He actually said we're going to win a Super Bowl. That I honestly actually never caught in any of the other segments that I've done recently. Now, I went back and listened to it. Yeah, when he said we're going to win a Super Bowl, like I think he was just kind of like listing of all the things that we're trying to do, right? We're going to win a lot of try to game. We're going to win a lot of games, try to win a Super Bowl. Like, I don't know if he was literally saying like, we're going to win a Super Bowl. I don't know. I'd have to listen to it, honestly, a handful more times to really try to feel like what exactly is he saying right there. Because he was definitely kind of like uninterested in talking to the media in that moment. Like, that was definitely not like Burrow facing the media and being like, this is me addressing you all. We're having a conversation. He was definitely just kind of like, yeah. You know, he was kind of just going through the motions a bit. So, but yeah, listen. Okay, Colin saying that these are losable games, like saying against the Texans, the Steelers, for sure. I'm of the camp that I love this schedule. I've been saying this from the moment the schedule has been released that this is a schedule that the Bengals can absolutely positively leverage to be a first-place team and the #1 seed. And I wholeheartedly believe that. You can make the argument that you can lose any of these games, though. Like, that's what's getting so difficult with these schedule releases right now. I was just talking to someone else in the comments section about the Chargers and they were like, oh, the Chargers could start off 2-4. And I was like, no, they're not. And 'cause I believe in the Chargers and I immediately comment I was like, no, I'm not. And he goes, really? He's like, but they're playing an H. He names it some of the teams and I was like, oh, yeah, I guess like technically, you know, it's like technically. And that's where we're at in the NFL right now with so many of these seemingly more competitive games. And when you look at it, you're like, well, I don't know how will Malik Willis and the Dolphins be. You know, Aaron Rodgers and the Steelers week 3, they should be pretty healthy at that point. It's at home. Weather will be nice. Aaron Rodgers will be fresh. Like, okay, right. Texans defense is elite. Don't really feel too great about the Bucs, but whatever. Ravens will obviously always be competitive. You know, those divisional games will always be competitive. The Titans with Cam Ward, Brian Dable, Robert Saleh, it's like, all right. The Atlanta Falcons, like Michael Penix, they got a lot of weapons that Falcons team. The Commanders or they were a year ago before all their injuries, they were in the NFC Championship game and actually beat the Bengals. Right? Like, Tyler Shaw and Kellen Moore, like, you can make the argument. Just like kind of what they did with the Carolina Panthers, right? Your mind would automatically skip and be like, oh, the Carolina Panthers. And then Collins is like, well, the Panthers gave the Rams fits and honestly the Rams should have lost to the Panthers in the playoffs. I really stand by that in the wild card round. So, yeah, if you look at it in a looser, more traditional schedule. Evaluation, absolutely. But, I'm not looking at it through that lens. I'm looking at it through the lens of like, you got Joe Burrow. You have an elite all-time great talent. And right now, what's supposed to unfold here is that this Bengals defense is actually going to be legit. It is finally actually going to just not be a massive liability. And that this O-line should also just not be one of the worst O-lines in the NFL, but even if it is, and this is what I kept saying in all my other Bengals bowls, even if it is, as long as though the weapons around Burrow are healthy, and as long as the defense isn't an absolute joke, you're still going to win a ton of games. Because that is what Burrow has proven to be able to do. He's proven to show that I don't even need an O-line, that I can get the offense going. You don't even have to make the O-line excuses that you do with Patrick Mahomes or anyone else out there. Because Burrow finds a way. Because he is so elite pre-snap and post-snap that it's like, whatever. You're going to throw some rushes at me? I got it. Let's go. Bring it on. And as long as the defense is just competent, it's like, you go to the Super Bowl. So, and you know, with that logic with that mindset, it's like, I don't care how good the Titans are going to look. I don't care how good the Falcons are going to look. I don't care about how competitive you think the Steelers are going to be. I don't care about, the Bucks. And all they gotta new this and that. I don't care about that, right? Like that's the mentality. That's the understanding. And with that logic, it's like, oh, really? The Panthers gave the Rams fits? Well, we're not the Panthers or we're not the Rams. We're not the Rams. Joe Burrow better than Matthew Stafford. The difference is that Matthew Stafford got a great coach and got a great, a roster. And had great weapons around him. And you know what? Even in those circumstances, me, Joe Burrow, I still did better than Matthew Stafford. Matthew Stafford got his MVP and got to put up all these great cartoon numbers, and it was like he had an elite offensive line, as well as Puka, Devontae, an elite run game, an elite offensive playbook. I didn't have none of that. I had two players, T. Higgins and Jamar Chase. I didn't even get them for a full season, and yet I still balled. I still put up insane numbers and better numbers than your boy Stafford over there. So, we are not the same. We are not the same. So, like my whole mentality around the Bengals is just give competence. Just give competence to this team, and this team will be elite. This team will be elite. My heart just stopped for a second cause I thought I wasn't recording anything, and I was talking to no one, and I was like, oh my gosh, but dude, you just went on this whole rant and you weren't even recording. Woo. My heart skipped a beat there. But, yeah. This is the American Dad thing that I was talking about the Cincinnati Bengals. This is where they're at. You're looking at this big wall where you're like, oh my gosh. And the top is a Super Bowl. And the joke is like, here, just give me a boost, right? Just give me a little step. And then, boom, you're at the top. And now y'all got to just reach back down, and you go. That's literally what this team feels to me. Literally what this team feels to me. It's like, just give me a little boost. You give me a little boost. And this there at the very top. You just need a little bit of a boost. A little bit of a boost. I don't care about who you're going up against. I don't care about who's their quarterback. Or what's their defense. It doesn't matter. We are forgetting just how great Joe Burrow is as a quarterback. That's why Burrow's haunted. Do you realize that? Do you see how miserable Burrow has been for these last few years? Because he knows who he is. He knows. Same thing that like KD found himself in, where it's just like the production that the accomplishments like they should just be so much higher. And again, injuries, whatever, like we can list all the reasons why, but it's just like we don't really talk about this anymore and we should, and I've tried my best to emphasize it, but it's just like Joe Burrow is legitimately, genuinely an all-time special talent. If his style of play was like the hyper-athletic like Lamar Jackson, Josh Allen-esque, like we would be talking about it so much more. Right? We just would be, because people are just more interested in that style of play. That style play seems to just move the needle more for people. And yet, we seem like we can only ever use generational talent, all-time talent, all great, all-time great. We seemingly can only have that ability these days about people who again, can do all the fun scrambles and this or that. And perfect example this is Caleb Williams. Okay. Everyone's super high on Caleb right now. I'm super high on Caleb. But they talk about like, oh my gosh, did you see what we saw? Oh my gosh, he's about to pop this, that. You see what he did against the Packers and what he did against the Rams? Like all oh my god, blah blah. Joe Burrow is better than Caleb Williams. Joe Burrow is way better than Caleb Williams right now. Maybe Caleb can surpass him one day, but Joe Burrow is a better quarterback than Caleb Williams right now. And yet, people are seemingly more optimistic and more excited about what they think Caleb is going to do or what he can be. And it's like, guys, we have this very backwards. Think about it also like this, okay? And I'll end here. I just stumbled upon this and this is great. I'm happy to, I'm really excited to do this. 'Cause we don't want to do the whole quarterback thing and we're going to do a different version of the quarterback, Oka. Why? We're actually having some really interesting conversations about all of these quarterbacks that the Bengals are about to play. About to in a few months. Can Baker Mayfield regain what he did in 2024? New coordinator, new this, it's like I don't care. Joe Burrow is clear, I don't care what the best version of Baker Mayfield, Joe Burrow is better. The Houston Texans. Can he ever also, I guess 2023 I guess, right? Yeah. Can he regain 2023? Can you know, is he worthy of a franchise quarterback? What's going on? He has some offensive line issues hasn't been able to overcome. Doesn't matter, Joe Burrow better. Aaron Rodgers, he's elite, he was special, he's retiring. Yeah. Trevor Lawrence, like who is he? Year 2 with Liam Cohen, this that doesn't matter, Joe Burrow. Miami Dolphins, Malik Willis, like all right, can he continue some of the magic that he had in Green Bay? He's going to, can he prove to be a legitimate franchise? Doesn't matter. And on and on and on we go. It's like Joe Burrow is proven to be elite. He's proven to be special. He's proven to be him. You don't have to look at it through the potential lens. Through the can he regain what he once had? He never lost it. He's always had it. It's never gone anywhere. And people seemingly forget that. And are confused. I mean, do you realize even in 2025 when Joe Burrow was obviously injured and he only played 8 games, he was the second-ranked quarterback in the NFL, 91.8. Like, do you realize how insane the T is? And his passer rating of 100.7. But, they'll be like, he turned the ball over against the Buffalo Bills. And it's like, okay. Snorts, sure. I mean, he got, considering how the season unfolded for him, he got thrown into the line of fire. And the Cincinnati Bengals still had a terrible pass block win rate of 58%. It was improved from 2024 cause I think they were 50% in 2024. So, it improved, but he was a notch under Matthew Stafford. And yet, he had a 58% pass block win rate, whereas Matthew Stafford had like a 67, 68, 69, which one is it? 69%. Just saying. And he got the feel out the entire season. Like, this is how special Joe Burrow is. If he played the full season, he would have been second in touchdown passes. Second in touchdown interception ratio. He would have thrown for over 4,000 yards. So, he would have been top 5. You know, hard to know exactly where, but probably top 5 would be my guess. So, I mean, y'all need to understand who Joe Burrow is. Like, I personally has taken it upon myself to have to keep reminding people just how elite and just how special Joe Burrow is. Like, even I disgusted, and I apologize. But, no more. I will not allow that to happen any longer. Like, people do not forget who Joe Burrow is and just how special. That's why that American Dad little meme is, I can't think of a better physical representation of where the Bengals are at. Just give me a little bit of boost. Give me a little boost and you are all T. He way up there. Just a little boost and you are and hurt your neck staring so high. Those are just my thoughts. I'd absolutely love to hear yours. What do you guys all think about Joe Burrow and the Cincinnati Bengals winning a Super Bowl? Being a top team in the NFL. This finally being the year that Burrow proves who he is to the doubters, I'll say. To the doubters. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. I read every single comment. So whether you agree with me or disagree with me, either way, let's get into some discussions. Let's get into some fights. But ultimately, let's just have some fun. And please do consider subscribing. We're building an amazing community here and I'd absolutely love to see you part of it. I want to build something that we all generally feel connected to. Something that we're really excited to be part of. I think we're well on our way to doing it. Please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up. It really does help the visibility and the algorithm. Thank you so much. See you next time.